Cheryl, are you still out doing the shopping right now? I just wanted to let you know that I would really love it if we could have some fish for dinner. Would you be a dear and make sure to buy some fresh swordfish for dinner while you're out? Hey Melissa, I'm really sorry to say, but I'm actually not feeling so good. I haven't even left to do the shopping. I've just been resting in bed all day. Oh, I see. Did you catch a cold or something like that? I'm not quite sure what it is actually, but my head just feels so heavy and I'm having a really hard time concentrating on things. But I don't have a fever, so I don't think that it's a cold. I see. Well, it sounds to me like it could be menopause. Do you really think that that's what it could be? I do actually. I'm sure of it now. I remember that I was around your age when I was going through it. Well, I guess it could be possible. Either way, I just think that I need to lie down for the day. I really hope you don't mind, but could I ask you to cook dinner tonight? I just don't think I'll be able to any use to anyone like this. Ah, darn, I really did want swordfish for dinner. Well, how about we just ask Sally to pick some up for us on her way home for school? I really wonder if it would be worth asking her. I feel like she's been getting home from school later and later, not to mention the fact that she hates helping out around the house and never offers a hand. I'm not sure if that's totally fair. I think she does help out every now and then. Are we talking about the same girl, as in your daughter, my granddaughter? I don't think I've ever seen her do any kind of work around the house. And ever since she started high school, she's gotten into dyeing her hair and listening to the rock music. I just don't know what is happening to the kids to the world these days. It's sad the direction our society is headed. I really don't think those are necessarily bad things in themselves. I mean, it's not like she has a uniform or any rules against dyeing her hair. And besides, the kinds of music people listen to are always changing. I think she's just finding herself. But she's only in high school. You can't really trust someone that age to know what's best for them, right? And don't you worry about what the neighbors think seeing her like that? Well, that's what I meant by finding herself. But anyways, when kids graduate high school, they're usually 18, so we're not always going to be able to control them, you know? And you're okay with that? Just how long are you going to let your daughter get away with doing whatever she wants? All you're doing to her by treating her this way is turning her into a selfish little girl. You really think that Sally is a selfish person? Of course I do. Whenever I talk to her, she always sounds like she's trying to start a fight. Not only that, but she called me an old hag the other day. Oh my, I see. Well, if that's the case, then I'll make sure to have a long talk with her about using that kind of language. You need to do more than that. You really ought to be disciplining her more strictly. At this rate, you're just going to be raising a future criminal. I really don't think that things are that bad yet, Melissa. Sally is still a teenager and is in a rebellious phase right now. But I think it's great that she's becoming such a strong-willed girl at the same time. Not only that, but she works really hard in her studies and always gets good grades. You really think that Sally has ever studied a day in her life? I've never seen her look in a textbook while she's at home. I think that she studies a lot in her room by herself. And other days, I know that she goes to the library to study after school as well. Maybe that's why she's been coming home late. I'm not sure if it's right to judge someone based on what they're not doing just because you don't see it. So you're telling me you really think she's coming home late after studying? Cheryl, do you really think that's true? Then I have some beachfront property to sell you in Kansas. That girl is out there causing havoc and raising hell. I'm sure of it. How can you be so sure though? You said yourself you haven't actually seen her do any of these things. Open your eyes. You know what girls her age can be like? What if some boy knocks her up or something? You really need to be more worried about these kinds of things. I understand that, I really do. But I also know my daughter and trust her to make the right decisions. It really is sad that you can't see the way she's lying to you. Anyways, I know you said you're not feeling good, but the least you can do is toss the laundry in the washing machine. I won't be getting home until quite late tonight. Right, of course. I'll try and get that done. I just need to lie down for a little bit longer first, I think. Cheryl, just when are you finally going to get back there? Sorry, I was just finishing up the doctors right now. And before I go home, I'm going to shop at the store and do some shopping. You need to get home right now and deal with Sally. Deal with Sally? What happened? Did she do something? She was calling me an old hag again. She was? But we just talked the other day about not using that kind of language with people. Well, apparently you didn't do good enough job since she's still misbehaving. Hold on a second, I'm just getting a message from Sally right now. She's texting you right now? Well then good, you better take this chance to really lay into her. I just read her message and she wrote that you tossed out the food that I had prepared for dinner last night. She said what? That is just ridiculous. Why would I even do something like that? She's obviously just lying to you. But ever since you came to live with us, you've done that plenty of times. Well, all of those other times were just mistakes or accidents. I mean, does she even have any proof that I did what she's accusing me of? Well, no, it's not like she has any pictures or anything, just the text, I guess. Well, there you go again. That means that it's highly likely that your daughter is just lying to you. But I don't really think that Sally is that kind of girl at all. You really need to start listening to me more often. I know what I'm talking about and you don't. I know how you feel about Sally, Melissa, but I really think that you're misjudging her. She's never anything but sweet around me, and I would really like if you stopped talking so negatively about her. You a dumb woman and an even dumber mother. You really need to take a step back and look at this objectively. Your daughter is nothing but a little liar. Melissa, please, there is no need for that kind of language at all. Even if Sally did do something that upset you, I'm sure she must have had some sort of reason for doing it. She's not the type of person who would go out her way to hurt someone. When are you going to wake up and face the truth? Honestly, how does my son let you two get away with acting like that all the time? Melissa, I really appreciate your concerns, but I really don't think that it's your place to tell me how to raise my daughter. Are you really going to try and pick a fight with me over this? Maybe you're where Sally gets her nasty attitude from. You're both so full of yourself, it all makes sense now. I really don't think that Sally is full of herself at all. Well, that's because you don't know the person that your daughter truly is. Anyways, you went to the doctor today, right? Did they say that you were going through a menopause like I thought? No, actually, they said it didn't appear to be that. The doctor just thought that it might have been some combination of a cold with some other symptoms just from everyday stresses. Well, good for you, I guess. I really was worried that something was wrong since I had been feeling like this for a while. Anyways, I'm going to the store to pick up some things for dinner. Well, you better get back home as fast as you can. You've been slacking off way too much when it comes to keeping the house clean. Not to mention the fact that you still need to punish your daughter. Right, I'll try to get home quickly then. Hi, honey. Where are you right now? I just got home, but I don't see you anywhere. You just got home? Oh shoot, I just left to go to the store. I guess we must have passed each other or something. But what in the world happened here? I got home and your grandmother was lying on the floor covered in bruises. She said that you jumped on her back and were hitting her. Oh yeah, that's right, I did that. She kept screaming for help. It was pretty funny, to be honest. Sally, why would you do something like that? What did your grandmother do that could have possibly provoked that? I really don't think that it's something to joke about. I only gave that old hag what she had coming. So don't expect me to apologize because I won't do it. Sally, you can't talk about your grandmother that way and you certainly can't hit her. I'm very disappointed in you. For sure. Anyways, how are you feeling today? Any better? Are you asking about my condition? Well, I guess I'm feeling fine, thanks. I take that you still haven't had your afternoon tea then. I know you use that little tea infuser thing to have that special tea you like. Well, no, I haven't drunk it yet. It's sitting on the counter steeping, in fact. Well, I just thought you should have known that the reason you've been feeling so bad lately is all because of Grandma. What's that supposed to mean? I mean that I came home early from school today and I saw Grandma putting something in your tea while you were out of the room. Wait, what? You're joking, right? It's no joke. I really saw her stir some kind of powder in the leaves. I was going to dump everything out, but then Grandma tried to stop me, and that's when we started fighting. Obviously, I won the fight, but I think she might have been putting in some kind of sleeping medicine. Sleeping medicine? Well, it would explain why I'm always feeling so lethargic. Not to mention the fact that that's a crime. I mean, what would happen if you got in a car and didn't know you had the medicine in your system? You could get really hurt or even really hurt someone else. Oh, Sally, I see now that you were just trying to protect me from something your grandma was doing. Thank you so much for catching that, and I'm sorry for being so upset with you earlier. But you shouldn't have to apologize for anything. If anyone should be sorry, it's Grandma. Oh, I'll take care of Grandma, don't worry. But I really am grateful to you for looking out for me. Well, okay, as long as you think you can handle her by yourself. I do, but obviously I'm going to have a talk about all of this with your dad. We'll make sure that your grandma answers for what she's been doing. Cheryl, you have got some nerve. Do you know that? Do you really think that this is any way to treat your own mother-in-law? You being my mother-in-law doesn't change the fact about what you were doing. Did you really think I could just let you get away with this? If anything, you should be grateful that we stopped at kicking you out of the house. You mean that you really don't see a problem with kicking a poor old woman out of her house? How can you just throw me out on the streets like that? It isn't just me. Even your own son agreed that it was for the best. You were literally drugging my tea and you expect me to do nothing about it? There's no way that I can live with someone who would do that. But you forced me to pack my bags and leave. I don't have anywhere to go. You should have thought about that before doing what you did. Are you really going to try and make yourself the victim in all of this? You came to us asking for the place to live and we let you in. If you really couldn't see this coming as a result of what you were doing, then that's on you. But you don't have any proof of any of this. It's just Sally's word against mine, right? And you know how much that girl hates me, so of course, she would lie about that. I just don't think she's the kind of person that you seem to think she is. Yes, she is. She has dyed her hair and she listens to loud music. Do you really think that anyone who does that can be a good person? And just what kind of mother even lets her daughter go around like that? I'll just go to the police and report the assault that Sally did to me. What do you think about that? You're more than welcome to go to the police. But I think the only person who would get in trouble is you. And just why do you think that, huh? You don't have any proof of things that you're accusing me of. Whereas I have the bruises that Sally left me. Clearly, they would have no choice but to believe me. Okay then, if you really feel that way, go ahead and tell the police. I won't do anything to stop you. You'll see. Sally will get kicked out of school. This will ruin her life. Okay then, you keep talking and talk. Now go walk the walk. But I'm just warning you that Sally does actually have footage of you putting the sleeping medicine in my tea. So I would stop accusing her of lying at the very least. Wait, what? Yes, when she walked through the door when she got home, she was on her phone and switched to the camera to record you. So I'm afraid that we do actually have evidence of what you did. Would you still like to go to the police? But I could be doing anything in the video. How could the cops even know what is it that I was doing to your tea? Do you really want to test that out? Well... Let's try a different example. Say that I were to go to the police because I got stabbed, okay? And what if the only evidence I had was of some crazy person in my off waving around a knife moments before I was injured? Is it the footage of the person committing the crime itself? No, but it's quite incriminating nonetheless. You really think that that's how the police would see it? I'm just asking you to think about the bigger picture here. Sally stepped in to stop what you were doing, and she has injuries off herself. You scratched her quite badly, so the police would also have to take that into account. Okay, wait, maybe I did take things just a little too far, but I just thought that you needed to rest. Even if I believe that, it still doesn't excuse literally putting something in my tea without telling me. You know that I drink that tea pretty frequently. What if something bad happened to me? But I never was intending to hurt you, I swear. Except that you were always mad that I wasn't doing enough around the house while I was feeling sick, right? You were saying all kinds of cruel things to me about how a wife needs to keep her health so that she can take care of her family. You tried to pin so much of me when nothing was my fault. I just had no idea that it was the medicine making you feel that way. You know, when I went to the doctor's office, they asked me if I was on any medication, and I said that I wasn't. I even told you about that when I got home, but you knew the whole time that that wasn't true. It was just a prank, really. Well, I think that it was one taken way too far. I mean, what if I left the house in my car? I could have gotten into an accident or killed someone. What would be the point of the prank then? Please, Cheryl, I'm so sorry. I just didn't think that far ahead. It's really not that far to jump and make. But anyways, I refuse to live under the same roof as you anymore. But what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to live? I can't just be out on here on my own. You're my family. You have to take care of me. You have your retirement money. You'll just have to be careful about saving and spending it. Besides, you're still a young lady. You can always find a job if you need. You can't be serious. I deserve to have a quiet retirement. I shouldn't have to work. I'm afraid that you really should have thought about that before you did what you did. Please, I promise to never do it again. You have to forgive me. Actually, I really don't. You did something horrible and now you're paying for it. Don't ever come near me again. After that, Melissa sat outside of the house, refusing to leave. We finally called the police, and that's when she started screaming and trying to run away. By the time the next morning came around, all of Melissa's belongings were gone from our front yard. I have no idea where she ran off, but when she was finally caught, the police let her off with a stern warning and made her promise to stay away from our house. I hear that now she's living in a tiny apartment all by herself. She tried reaching out to my husband and I and complained about how hard her life was and how she was always in need of money, but we ignored her calls for help. I don't think we'll ever see her again until her funeral. As for my family, things settled down quite a bit after Melissa left. Sally is getting ready for her senior year in high school and still getting good grades. Obviously, there are times when I need to rein in her rebellious attitude, but I'm very happy knowing that I have such a mature and trustworthy daughter. I still think that it's very sad how everything went down the way that it did. I really thought that Melissa and I were getting along so well. There were times when I thought she could be a bit overbearing, but I always understood. It was just her being a concerned mother and grandmother. I would have never ever dreamed that she could have been capable of what she did to me. Another person I feel quite badly for over how all of this happened is my husband. When his mom asked if she could come live with us, I was a little apprehensive at first. He was the one who talked to me into allowing Melissa to be with us. After he found out what she was doing to me, he apologized for never noticing and clearly felt very guilty about it all. I told him that he had no way of knowing that his mom would act that way. Still, I think it may take some time for him to overcome that, on top of cutting his mom out of our lives. Thankfully though, I'm glad that I trusted my instinct and had faith in the person that I knew my daughter really was deep down. And if it wasn't for Sally's bravery in confronting her grandma, who knows what might have happened. I never wanted my daughter to go through something like that. But I'm much less worried about her ability to take care of herself now.
Hey, Vanessa. How are you feeling? Any better?
Yeah, I feel way better after getting some sleep. Sorry you had to make your own breakfast this morning. I was really hoping I'd feel up to wrestling you something up. But I just didn't have the energy.
Oh, it's nothing, really. Leave supper to me as well. Your number one priority right now should be resting up to the max.
No way. I can't let you do everything again. You cooked last night's supper too. I genuinely do feel better now. I think it'd do me good to get back into my cooking routine.
Really? You were as white as a sheet all day yesterday. You could barely keep any food down. Are you sure you can recover from that with one night's sleep? I think you should get checked out by a doctor just to be safe.
It's probably just summer fatigue. It's been scorching hot lately. I think I've been stressed out emotionally too. It's hard to imagine that not being a factor. I read an article the other day that said your thoughts can make you sick, and my mind has been on overdrive lately.
Really? You've never mentioned this before. What's wrong?
Listen, Tim. It's about Tilly.
My mum?
Yes.
What about her?
Do you promise not to tell her anything about what I'm about to tell you?
Of course.
Okay, well, the thing is, she's bullying me. I've been so emotionally distressed over it all. I barely recognize myself anymore. I think that's partly why I got ill.
What? My mum's been bullying you? No way. Are you joking? Surely my mum's the last person who'd bully anyone.
Don't you believe me?
It's not that, it's just surprising. I always thought of my mum as one of the most trustworthy and sincere people in my life. Would she do that? But she even stepped in back when her aunt was bullying her daughter-in-law. She always gets so fiery and impassioned when she sees injustice that she can't keep her mouth shut. It's gotten her into trouble more than once. I never had her down as the underhanded type. It's hard to imagine, that's all. But if you say she's bullying you...
Who knows? Maybe she is nice to other people's daughter-in-laws. But she obviously sees me differently. She must feel she has more of a right to do as she pleases with me because I'm her eldest son's wife. You always hear about people who seem as nice as pie being mean to people behind the scenes, right? Want a prime example? Just think about serial killers. They always seem normal. They're always the nicest guy you could ever hope to meet. It's not like I'm saying your mom's a serial killer, but it's the same principle, you know? There are two sides to everyone.
I guess I see your point.
I knew it. You don't believe me, do you?
No. It's not that I don't believe you, it's just that I'm kind of overwhelmed with shock. She's my mum.
I'm not stupid, Tim. I know what that means. You think I might be telling the truth, but you're not sure. I can't believe it. You think I'm lying after I finally plucked up the courage to tell you. I wish I never said anything.
No, I'm sorry. I'm pleased you told me. I don't think you're lying at all. I believe you, I promise. So, what exactly has she been doing to you?
You know, the kind of stuff you usually hear about mother-in-laws doing to their sons' wives. First of all, there's the passive aggression. It's like she has the little sigh of disappointment she lets out every time I say or do anything. I can't tell you how much even that alone wears me down. Then she's always making these cruel little digs at me that she plays off as jokes or teasing when she can tell I'm upset. Remember when she came to drop all those vegetables off at her place the other day?
Yeah, I think so. She came when I was at work, right?
Even when she's doing something nice, she can't help but get some snarky little comment in. She said she brought those vegetables over because she knew my cooking probably wasn't up to standard. She slammed them down on the table right in front of me and ordered me to start cooking healthier meals for you. It wasn't just that day either. That's just one of many examples. This has been going on for a long time.
Oh my god. I had no idea. I'm so sorry for not noticing.
It's okay, sweetie. I don't hold it against you. She's crafty. She only does it when no one is around. Besides, it's not like I can't tolerate it. I made it this far. It's just that I was hoping we could figure out some way for me to stop seeing her. 'Cause it really is starting to take its toll now. It's Thanksgiving soon. And, to be honest, I'm dreading it. The thought alone keeps me awake at night.
You're right. The plan was for us all to go over to her place for dinner. Don't worry, I'll tell her you have urgent business and won't be able to make it.
Really? Are you sure you don't mind?
It's only normal you wouldn't want to see her if she's been treating you like that.
Thank you for understanding, sweetie. But is she really going to be okay with me not being at the Thanksgiving dinner? She always struck me as traditionalist. Isn't family time, that important to her?
Don't you worry about that one bit. Leave this to me. I'll make sure she never does anything to upset you ever again.
Thank you so much, Tim. You're the best husband a girl could wish for. I was terrified you were gonna tell me to suck it up and carry on putting up with her.
Jeez, Vanessa, what do you take me for? Like I'd do that. If I don't protect you, who will?
Something tells me there aren't many husbands who'd protect their wives from their own mothers like this. Drama with in-laws is practically an American cultural tradition by this point. It's kind of like there's this tendency for it to be seen as just the way things are, and guys will give their moms a pass on stuff they'd flip out at anyone else for.
You think so? Never really thought about it. I believe it's a man's job to protect his wife. When you put that ring on your finger, you became my number one. If I didn't have your back now, the vows I made that day would be meaningless.
Thanks, baby. You're such a sweetie. You know, I think this kind of thing is more common than you think. Who knows how many girls there are out there suffering their overbearing mother-in-laws in silence. Anyways, I'm really happy. I was worried you weren't gonna believe me, and it's like this huge weight has been lifted from my shoulders. To tell you the truth, I was crying my eyes out while writing out the messages. I had to wipe my phone down at least 5 times and do some deep breathing exercises.
Wow, seriously? I'm so sorry for everything you've been through. I hope you're not crying anymore.
I'm not. The tears stopped thanks to you. I feel super calm all of a sudden.
I'm glad to hear that. But there's no way around it. I'm gonna have to do something about this. I'll make my mum stop bullying you if it's the last thing I do. Leave it to me. I'm gonna give her a little warning.
Wait, no! Please don't do that! I'd rather we just let it all blow over. I don't want to rock the boat. Besides, can you guarantee it wouldn't make her worse? I don't think so. Even if you did confront her, she could easily play it off as me being paranoid or sensitive and double down on the abuse behind your back.
You're right. Okay, I won't say anything, but I will see to it that your meetings with her are kept to a bare minimum from now on. If we can't stop her bullying you, we'll create an environment where she can't bully you, and quickly.
I'm sorry for getting so down over this. It probably doesn't seem like much, but my dad was kind of abusive towards me while I was growing up. He was a military man, and he was big on discipline. It felt more like I was growing up in a military camp than a home. He didn't hit me that often, but his words hurt so much it felt like he was beating the crap out of me every day. The way your mom speaks to me gives me flashbacks, and it sends my head to a dark place. I wish I was stronger, but I feel like I'm losing control whenever she starts, and I start wishing the ground would just swallow me up.
It's fine, Vanessa, really. Anyone would be hurt if they were treated like you have been all this time. I'm the one who should be apologizing for my mum, dragging up all those painful memories from your childhood.
No, you shouldn't. And I don't want you ever to say that again. You haven't done anything wrong, Tim. Sorry, honey. I didn't mean to use up so much of your lunch break.
It's fine. If talking to me made you feel even a little better, I'm happy. But I'm genuinely sorry.
Tim, stop it. I mean it. You have nothing to apologize for. I feel better. Just getting it all off my chest. I'll let you go now, sweetie. Good luck with work. I'll have a big supper full of your favorites ready for when you get home. And you'll get double portions to make up for what I couldn't make last night.
Score! I can't wait, babe. Don't overdo it, though. If you're not feeling up to it yet, I'm more than happy to make something myself. Sorry, Vanessa. I won't be needing any supper tonight.
Huh? Why? Are you going out drinking with your buddies or something?
No, my mum called me over to her place.
Your mom? Did she message you?
Yep. Oh, she said she misses me and that I should make more of an effort to show my face around there. She invited me for dinner. Oh, and she said there was something she needed to talk to me about. She doesn't usually do this, so I figure it must be important. I'm gonna go and see what's going on.
No, don't go!
Huh?
I already started making your supper. And come on, Tim, really? I told you she's bullying me. Why would you rush over to see her on a short notice after we already made plans? This doesn't seem fair on me. You should be more considerate towards my feelings.
Sorry, but you said you wanted to let all this blow over, right? Surely you can see how the winds might pick up again if I cancel on her at short notice like this. I offered to warn her, but you stopped me, remember? If we're going with business as usual, then we have to stick to it. It's not like she lives that far away.
Looks like you're just the same as all those other guys after all. Is there really any need to go off and play best buddies with my tormentor? It's like you're rubbing it in my face. You said we were gonna keep meetings with her to a minimum. Wait a sec. I get it now. You don't believe me, do you?
That's not fair, Vanessa. I'm trying to set things up so you don't have to see her anymore precisely because I believe you. Besides, it's not like she's calling you over. She asked me to come on my own. Surely you should be celebrating.
That's strange to begin with. Why would she only invite you? She doesn't even know we've been discussing this. She's never done anything like this before. Can't you see what she's doing? She's trying to turn you against me. I'm worried like crazy by how you seem completely oblivious to it all.
Relax, please. The only reason she didn't invite you is because I told her you'd been ill lately.
Even so, you absolutely cannot go today. I already defrosted all the meat for your supper.
Can't I have it tomorrow? Just put it in the fridge.
No! Who's more important to you, Tim? Me or your mother? Choose!
Well, you, obviously.
Well, in that case, how about you stop playing best buddies with my bully?
It's not like I don't believe you, but I also want to hear what my mum has to say for herself.
No, stop it! You promised you wouldn't say anything about the bullying. If you confront her about it, she'll double down and my life will become even more of a living hell than it already is. She told me to break up with you.
What? She said that? When did this happen? Like, no way. Did she show up at the house again? I told her not to come for a little while, damn it.
No, she told me over the phone. I think she knows I'm trying to avoid her, Tim.
We can't go on like this. How are we ever going to be able to lead normal lives when we're constantly tiptoeing around my mum? I have to talk to her about the bullying. How am I supposed to keep my mouth shut when she's telling you to divorce me behind my back? How can we just go on pretending everything's normal when it's so clearly not?
No, you can't. You mustn't say anything. Don't you know how cunning and devious she is? She'll fill your head with lies about me, and things will get a million times worse. I just know it. What am I supposed to do if she gets her way, and we actually end up divorcing? I can't cope without you.
That's not going to happen. I promise.
Please, Tim, I'm begging you. Never see your mom again. You'll do what I say if you mean it when you say I'm more important to you than her. Do not go to your mom's house.
Vanessa, you need to calm down.
After everything she's done to me, I wouldn't forgive her, even if she apologized. I never want to see her again.
You're well within your rights to feel that way. It's only normal after the way she treated you.
How can you say that and then drop our plans as soon as she snaps her fingers? You're a walking contradiction.
What?
You're coming straight home from work and that's final. I won't take no for an answer. If you go to your mom's house, we're getting a divorce.
A divorce? What the hell?
If you go to your mom's house tonight, I'll take that as an admission that she's more important to you than me. Why would I want to stay married to someone who sides with my bully over me? If I'm not your number one, I want out.
Fine. I'll come straight home. I won't go to my mum's.
Promise? I just know if you went, she'd try and turn you against me. She won't be satisfied until you hate my guts and vow never to see me again. You can't believe a word she says about me. She's not to be trusted ever. Tim, are you able to make it tonight, dear? I'm sorry to do this on such short notice, but there's a matter of urgent importance I need to discuss with you as soon as possible.
I'm sorry, Mum. I have overtime again today.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you think you can make it when your overtime finishes? You don't have to stay for long.
Stop asking the impossible, Mum. I'm going to be exhausted. I just want to go home and relax. But why do I have to go to your house? Just tell me. I'm all ears.
There's something I need to show you.
Can't you send me a picture instead?
I suppose I could send it, but I don't think it's something you should see while you're at work.
Now I am really curious. It's fine, really. Will you just send it? I'm already on my lunch break and there's no one else around. Go on, Mum. I'm a big boy.
Fine, if you insist. I'll send it. There's something I need to say first. Divorce your wife.
Huh?
She's not who you think she is, Tim. You need to get rid of her and never look back as soon as possible.
I see. Well, so you really have been bullying her. I'm disappointed in you, Mum. It's just like she said, you're really trying to split us up, huh?
Bullying? Good grief. To think she's cheating on you and lying about me. Tim, about what I wanted to show you. It's proof of Vanessa's affair.
What? Vanessa's affair? Jeez, Mum, how gullible do you think I am? Stop lying. Your plan's never gonna work, so you may as well just give up.
I don't have any kind of plan, and I'm not lying.
She broke down in tears because of your bullying, you know. She even fell ill from the stress of it all. Like Vanessa would ever cheat on me. She's the most kind, caring, sensitive girl I've ever met.
Vanessa fell ill through stress from bullying her? When was this?
About 2 weeks ago.
Are you sure it wasn't from the stress of me finding out about the affair? The timing adds up. She turned as white as a sheet and hightailed it out of there like lightning. I've never seen someone run so fast.
Hightailed it out of where? What are you talking about?
I saw her by coincidence while I was on my way home from lunch with a friend a couple of weeks ago. She was going into a hotel holding hands with some man I've never seen before.
No way.
I just told you I had proof, didn't I? I waited outside the hotel for them to come out with my friend for 3 hours. When they did, I went to go confront her, and the pair of them bolted down the street like a pair of Olympic sprinters. When I say I prove, I mean we caught the whole thing on video. My friend recorded them leaving the hotel, the confrontation, and the escape from start to finish.
Oh my god. This can't be happening. What? Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Because I thought she'd tell you when it happened straight away out of worry I'd get to you first. I also wanted to hear her side of the story before I went sticking my nose in. I'm pretty sure it could have only been one thing, but I wanted confirmation nonetheless. I messaged her a few times, but she didn't reply once. When I realized she hadn't told you anything and was ignoring me, I accepted I had no choice but to tell you. When I tried, I couldn't shake the feeling you were trying to avoid me.
I'm sorry. To tell you the truth, I had been intentionally keeping my distance ever since she told me you were bullying her.
I thought as much. She must have thought you'd never find out if she could keep you away from me. I also got the impression she was in a panic she didn't notice my friend recording. It looks like I was right. She has no idea I have proof of what I saw. Tim, are you okay?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I should tell you. This has been the only thing on my mind since I saw her that day. I know how much you love that girl. I was scared you might faint from the shock of it all when I told you.
I still haven't seen the video. There's still a part of me that doesn't believe it.
Wake up and smell the coffee, son. You can't go on burying your head in the sand forever. get ready. I'm sending it. Make sure you sit down somewhere quiet to watch it. Once you've seen it all and calmed down, I want you to message me again and tell me what you think. I want you to know I'll be here to support you no matter what you decide to do. I'm here to talk whenever you need me. Get ready to do some serious thinking about your future.
Got it. So I'm sorry for everything, Mum. I'm the biggest idiot.
Don't ever say anything like that again. I'm very proud of you for your honest, trusting nature. That backstabbing liar took advantage of it, that's all. Hey, Tim. You'll be back for your business trip tomorrow, right? I can't wait to see the presents you got me. Hope you have a safe flight home, sweetie.
Yep.
What's wrong? Are you tired? I guess you're bound to feel exhausted. They did spring the trip on you at the very last minute. Are you okay?
I'm not okay at all. But my mind is made up and my resolve is firm.
Your resolve?
I want a divorce.
Huh? Where did that come from all of a sudden?
I know about the affair.
Oh, what the? What are you talking about, baby? You know I never do anything like that. Why would you even say that? No way. Have you been speaking to your mom?
Yup.
God damn it, Tim. I told you not to believe a word that comes out of her mouth. She's lying to try and drive a wedge between us. How can't you see that? And you're falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Are you really gonna give her what she wants by making accusations against me like this?
I'll admit it. After you told me she was bullying you, I did think she was lying. But she had proof.
Huh? Proof?
She showed me some footage of you and some guy coming out of a hotel.
What are you talking about? Oh my god. Surely you don't think it's real. She probably faked it. You can do that these days, you know. I saw on the news the other day, there's this new AI called Peep GP that can do that kind of thing. I bet she used that. Or it must have been a deepfake. Surely you heard of that one. Apparently even a total beginner can use it. You can fake pictures, videos, voice clips, you name it. You can't just blindly believe everything she says, Tim. She's out to get me.
I had a feeling you'd say something like that, so I did some digging on my own. I didn't really go on a business trip, but I knew that if I told you I was going away, you'd probably meet up with Loverboy, thinking you had free reign to do whatever you liked.
Where are you?
I'm afraid that's classified information, but I can tell you I know exactly what you've been up to over these last few days. I hired a private investigator. So I hear you invited your lover to our house while I was away. I know you're together now.
Is this a joke? Please tell me you're not serious. Really, where are you?
It doesn't matter where I am. I do hope you're going to sign these divorce papers without kicking up a fuss.
I'm so sorry, Tim. I don't love him. I love you and only you. He's nothing to me. He's just some guy I met through an app. I'm not serious about him at all.
Irrelevant. The fact you were using apps like that in the first place tells me all I need to know. Cheating is cheating.
Maybe so, but... Tim, are you angry? I can't bear the thought of losing you, baby.
What the hell are you talking about? You need professional help. You tried painting my mom as some bullying psychopath and tried destroying our relationship just because she happened to see you out with Loverboy. You tried to make me break off ties with my own mother, Vanessa. Do you even understand the gravity of what you did?
I know it's wrong, but I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't bear the thought of you finding out and getting hurt. I was thinking of ending things with him, you know.
You've got some nerve to say that while he's at our house, you traitorous bitch.
Oh my god, Tim, don't call me that. It's not like I invited him. He showed up on our doorstep unannounced. And I figured this was my chance to break things off once and for all. When I told him I was ending it, he threatened to tell you everything. So I had no choice but to let him in.
Even if you were telling the truth, which I don't believe for 1 second, you'd only have yourself to blame. Hold on tight. Your parents will be arriving soon. We're all going to discuss the divorce together.
What? You told my parents? But you know how strict my dad is. I told you about what he used to do to me. Oh my god, Tim. How could you do this to me? There's no telling what he'll do to me now. My life is over.
Oh, he was furious when I told him over the phone. You're right. Definitely not someone I'd want to get on the wrong side of.
Stop it! Call him off. Call both of them off. Tell them this has all been a big misunderstanding, please. There's nothing to be gained from discussing this with them. He'll beat the living daylights of me.
I don't care. All I care about is that you sign these divorce papers and get the hell out of my life forever. If your dad has to force you to sign them under threat of violence, so be it.
What happened to you, Tim? You used to be so kind. My happiness used to be your first priority.
That's because you are my wife. My love and kindness doesn't extend to complete strangers, and that's all you are to me now. That goes doubly for someone who hurt me as badly as you did.
I'm so sorry. I'll never do anything like this again, I swear. Please forgive me. I'm begging you.
Lies, lies, and more lies. You're so good at this. You should be a politician.
Not lying, baby. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart.
Would someone genuinely capable of self-reflecting and feeling remorse ever say the kind of things you said about my mum? All you've done up until this point is lie, and the only reason you're saying sorry is because you got found out. I can't think of a single reason why I should believe you, but I can think of a million as to why I shouldn't.
You said I was the most important person in the world to you. Was that a lie? I thought what we had was special. To think you'd abandon me over something like this. How am I supposed to survive without you? Don't you care what happens to me?
No, not at all. In fact, I literally couldn't care less. You might have been the most important person in the world to me at one point, but you're definitely not anymore.
You're horrible. How do you sleep at night? Liar.
I'll sleep a hell of a lot better with you out of my life, that's for sure. You lost your place as the most important person in the world to me when you stabbed me in the back and lied to me. Call me what you like. I'm a damn sight more honest than you. I can't love a woman capable of lying to me and betraying me with another guy behind my back. I'm going to do as my mum told me and divorce you ASAP. Vanessa's parents immediately arrived at our house. At first I thought she might have been exaggerating about her dad, but I can now confirm he was just as unhinged as she said. He beat the living daylights out of her in front of everyone. The in-laws arrived so quickly that Loverboy didn't even have a chance to make his escape. He cowered like a quivering mess in the corner of the room as his darling angel was beaten black and blue before his very eyes. After pulling himself together and regaining his ability to form coherent sentences, he promised to pay me as much compensation as I wanted. I think he was scared he'd be Vanessa's lunatic dad's next victim if he didn't pay up. After being knocked around like a sack of potatoes by her violent father, Vanessa was in no state to put up a fight on the divorce. She signed the papers immediately and without hesitation beneath his menacing glare. I handed them in the next day and the divorce went by without a hitch. When the discussion was over, Vanessa was dragged away kicking and screaming and stuffed into the boot of her dad's car. The mixture of engine noises and muffled screams as they drove away was the last I ever heard of her. I have no idea what happened to her after that, but I heard none of her friends wanted anything more to do with her after finding out what she did, and she became a complete social pariah. It turns out her dad really was as strict as she had always said. I can't say I was comfortable with him beating her like that, and if I'm honest, I think he went too far. That said, it can't be denied his disciplinary methods are effective, because I've never seen anyone sign anything so fast. Her parents are also the types who take great pride in their public image, so it's hard to imagine them letting their wayward daughter have free reign of their neighbourhood, where she'd be free to mingle with the locals and start rumours. From the stern, authoritarian military vibe he gave me, it wouldn't surprise me if he had her locked in the basement. Unfortunately for her, that's not my problem. I got my divorce, and I got my compensation, so I couldn't care less what happens to her now. I offered my mum a sincere apology for doubting her after the divorce. She just laughed it off and praised the sense of honour I showed in standing up for my wife, but I'm very aware that if things had gone differently, there was a possibility me and her might have never have spoken again. So I'm super grateful she was tolerant and big-hearted enough to forgive me for being such a gullible idiot. Life's not all doom and gloom, and things can only get better from here. Now it's my turn to be there for my family and friends, and to be there to uplift and support them, just like they were there for me. Let's do this.
Hey, Esmae. How are you feeling today?
A lot better than I was yesterday.
I'm glad to hear it. You think you're going to feel up to picking Trent up from kindergarten?
Yeah, I think so.
Only if you feel up to it, babe. I mean it. I don't want you overdoing it and getting ill again. Don't hold back on telling me if you take a turn for the worst again. I'm here for you.
Sorry I made you worry, Kyle. And I'm sorry I kept quiet about this the whole time.
Yeah, no kidding. I was speechless when the teacher told me about Trent's attendance record at parents' evening. You never told me he was having that many days off. I couldn't make any sense of it. I mean, I kind of still can't.
I've been suffering with pounding headaches since the beginning of the year. They're the worst. I feel a little better when I lie down. I didn't think anything of it at first. I thought they'd go away on their own. But they started flaring up whenever I took Trent to kindergarten. I always ended up flat out on the sofa for the rest of the day whenever I got back. But of course, then I had to go pick him up again. It all got to be too much.
So you started calling him in sick on your worst days instead?
Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. It was wrong of me to do that, especially without telling you.
It's cool. You don't have to keep apologizing. I do wish you would have told me how awful you were feeling a little earlier, though. Thought we were supposed to be a team.
Sure, I get that, but it's not like I knew what was wrong with me. I just had these mystery headaches.
Correction. Mystery headache so debilitating you're almost completely incapable of moving. There has to be a cause. How about you try seeing a specialist at the general hospital?
They ran a bunch of tests on me at the hospital before, but they didn't find anything. They just told me they were migraines and sent me on my way with some painkillers and a hefty bill.
But are they really just migraines? How about you try a different hospital? Doctors can get things wrong all the time. How many times do you hear about brain tumors being misdiagnosed as migraines? Besides, there are a bunch of new treatment methods these days.
I don't want to hear another word about brain tumors, Kyle. I'm fine, really. These painkillers are more than enough for me, and if I run out, I can always buy more online without leaving the house.
But if you've been having these headaches since New Year, then there's some kind of underlying illness bringing them on.
I'm probably just getting old.
It's possible, but what if it's not just that? You can't put a price on health, Esmae. The earlier you get properly checked out, the better. If there is an underlying cause, you need to get it treated before it gets any worse. Self-diagnosing never ends well. I'm begging you here, babe. I'm seriously worried about you.
Fine. I'll go to a different hospital, and the next day I feel like I can move.
Yes, please do. Thanks. Oh yeah, there was something else. Sorry to bring this up at a time like this, but I got assigned to a business trip. I did ask if there was anyone else who could go in my place, but apparently I'm vital for the success of the project.
What? You're going away? When?
2 Mondays from now. I'll be gone for a week. I'm so sorry, babe, but I'll have to leave you on your own for a little while.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. But if I take a turn for the worse again, just know I'll have no choice but to call Trent in sick at kindergarten.
It can't be helped. I'd rather he have some days off than you go overboard and end up in the ambulance, or God forbid worse. Oh yeah, how about we ask my mom to take him instead? She doesn't live that far away. I'm surprised I didn't think of that before.
We can't make your mom be our son's personal chauffeur, Kyle. Sorry, it's not happening.
Oh, she wouldn't mind. She loves spending time with him. If anything, I think she'd be pleased.
She might not mind, but I do. There's no telling which days I'll be worse on. And it's not fair on me to expect her to come out on such short notice. She has a life and responsibilities of her own to take care of. She'd have to drop whatever she had planned, and knowing what she's like, she probably would. I can't have that on my conscience.
I understand all that, babe, but it's only a week. It won't be that much of a burden on her. I'll be back before you know it.
It's not happening. Please, just drop it. I don't want to cause your mom any trouble.
Fine. So we'll leave my mom out of it, but I want you to tell me if anything's wrong while I'm away.
Don't worry, honey, I will. And if I'm so unwell that I'm not even capable of looking after him, I might ask your mom to take care of him for a little while, but only if she's not doing anything. But that's the emergency option. If I have to inconvenience her, I want to keep it to a bare minimum.
Got it. Thank you. It's my fault, I know. So you wouldn't have to worry about any of this if not for the business trip.
Don't beat yourself up about it. It can't be helped. Don't think I don't know how hard you work to provide for this family, Kyle. I know, and I appreciate it. On top of that, you even help out with the housework when you're around the house. You have no idea how helpful you are.
If that's how you really feel, then I'm pleased, but I can be kind of slow to pick up on things sometimes, so if you do want something, I want you to let me know. I'll do whatever I can, whenever I can.
Thanks, honey. I have everything I need for the time being. The hospital's close by, too, so you really have nothing to worry about. You just focus on your work while you're away, okay?
Hey, Esmae, I'll be a little late getting home today.
That's not like you. Is this to do with your business trip next week?
Yep, you guessed it. The boss says he needs to brief me on the project before I leave. I don't think I should be too late. Maybe just an extra 30 to 60 minutes. I'll be back before Trent goes to bed.
Okay, honey. Got it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you seem to be doing a lot better lately.
You noticed as well? I tried a different hospital like you suggested, and the new medicine they gave me seems to be working wonders. I can't say whether it's that for sure, but you're not wrong. I feel so much better.
Really? I knew you seemed different. I'm so pleased to hear that, babe. The timing couldn't be better with me just getting ready to go away.
No kidding. I think I feel, dare I say it, back to normal. This is all thanks to you suggesting I try out a different hospital. Thank you.
I guess you won't have to rely on your mom for anything while I'm away on business now then.
It seems so. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm not out of the woods yet, so I don't want to get complacent. I could still end up needing her if the migraines come back, but as things stand, things look good.
Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, but my mom told me she saw you the other day.
She did? Where?
At the mall outlet in the suburbs. Did you go out?
Oh, yes. The hospital I went to is in the same area. It's a 5-minute walk from the outlet. I thought I may as well pass through for some window shopping since I was there.
Oh, I see. You know, I haven't bought any new clothes in years. How about we all head over there as a family for a wardrobe update when I'm back from my business trip?
That sounds great. I wasn't feeling my best, so I didn't stop to see much. That's strange, though. I thought your mom would have said hi to me if she saw me around town.
She only saw you driving out of the car park. She was in her friend's car herself, so she didn't get a chance to say hi.
Well, that explains it. Oh, would you look at the time? Sorry, sweetie. It's Trent's supper time. Gotta go.
All right, no worries. I'm gonna head back to work.
Okay, good luck with the briefing. Drive home safe.
Sorry I missed your phone call, Mom. I was eating. What happened? It's not like you to call me randomly. Is something wrong?
Kyle, what on earth are you doing?
Excuse me? Mom, are you angry with me?
Of course I'm damn well angry with you. You went away on a business trip while your poor wife's lying in a hospital bed. You left my grandson all on his own at home. What would you have done if something happened to him?
Huh? Esmae's in a hospital? Esmae's in a hospital? This is the first I've heard of it. Whoa, wait a sec. What? What are you talking about? Trent was left on his own at the house? How in Jesus' name did this happen?
Yes, he was left on his own. Are you being serious right now? Are you actually telling me you don't know your wife got admitted to the hospital?
Like I said, this is the first I've heard of it, I swear. What did she even get admitted for in the first place? I haven't had any phone calls. Not from her, not from anyone. Who told you this?
Trent, there was a knock on the door about 10 minutes ago. When I opened it, there he was, Stood all on his own in the pouring rain.
What? On his own? On a night like this?
Yes! We're in the middle of the worst storm to hit Florida in 10 years. It's raining buckets, windy enough to blow the stripes off a zebra, and thundering and lightning like it's no one's business. He must have been scared out of his mind, the poor thing. He was soaking wet through and shivering like a crack addict. He said he came over in spite of the storm because he couldn't sleep on his own.
What?
When I asked him what happened, he said you were away on a business trip and his mom was in the hospital. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. To think that you'd leave your 5-year-old son home alone. I didn't raise you like this. You have no idea how furious I am with you, Kyle. Why didn't you get in touch with me? I would have had him. Oh, listen, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. It does seem like you really didn't know anything. Do you have any ideas what might be going on here?
Nothing. I left for my business trip yesterday. Forget that. Is Trent okay?
Yes, he's fine. He was shivering pretty badly. Your dad's given him a bath now, and he seems to be cheering up. We might not live that far away, but it can't have been easy for him to get here all on his own at nighttime in the middle of such a horrendous storm with those little legs of his. It takes me 20 minutes to get to your place at the best of times. It must have taken him at least twice that.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Mom.
Are you really away on business, Kyle?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I am. Want to do a video call? I can show you the scenery from my hotel window if you don't believe me. I mean, it is nighttime, so you might not be able to see much, but still.
What about Esmae? Have you heard from her?
She messaged me an hour ago. She said Trent was so fried from playing all day at kindergarten he was fast asleep on the sofa.
Did she now? Oh, this makes no sense. Trent says his mother was gone for ages.
Gone for ages?
He says she went out and didn't come back. Surely this can only mean that she's lying.
Lying? But she had been suffering from killer migraines lately. Granted, she said she felt better after going to a different hospital and trying out some new medicine. But there is a chance she really did get admitted to the hospital.
Leaving Trent on his own, without so much as a word to you? Oh, wake up and smell the coffee, Kyle. There's no way in a million years she'd do that if she was telling the truth.
You're right. Sorry, Mom. I'm not thinking straight right now.
Face it. Your wife left your boy home alone, and she's lying through her teeth about it. That's the undeniable truth. He wouldn't show up on his own on my doorstep in the middle of a raging storm if it wasn't.
Now that you mention it, Esmae messaged me earlier saying she hung a load of laundry outside because it was bright sunshine today.
More lies. It's been raining cats and dogs since noon. We did get a spot of sunshine first thing this morning, but things went south quickly when the storm hit.
Which means Trent's been on his own at least since noon today?
You might think this is an unusual time for me to bring this up, but remember how I told you I saw Esmae at that mall outlet in the suburbs the other week?
Yeah?
Well, when I did, there was something off about her.
Something's off about her.
How to put this? I got the impression that she was dolling herself up. You know, making more of an effort with her appearance than usual. She looked different to how I'm used to seeing her. I didn't mention it at the time because I didn't feel like it was my place, and for all I knew, she dressed like that all the time around you. After all, we don't see each other much, right? But now this has happened. I feel like it's at least worth mentioning. You might wonder what I'm getting at with this, but maybe, just maybe, do you think it might have something to do with why she left Trent unsupervised at the house?
You mean she went out to meet another guy?
Listen, Kyle, the last thing I want to do is cast doubt on your wife. But at the same time, this isn't normal. And taking everything into account, I'm not sure how else to explain what's going on. It's just a possibility, but I think you should at least consider it.
She said she was on her way back from the hospital that day you saw her at the mall. No, you're right. This ain't normal. No, you're right. This ain't normal at all. I'm coming home.
Can you do that? What about your business trip?
I came by car and it's not like I'm super far away. I should be back sometime in the middle of the night. My coworkers will just have to do their best to cover my jobs while I'm gone. This is an emergency. Hopefully I can make it back before the trip ends. If not, so be it.
Okay. Trent's bound to feel a lot better with his dad around. We'll be waiting for you.
I'm sorry to trouble you like this, Mom. I'm sure all this drama is the last thing you need on your plate.
Don't worry about it. Just make sure you drive safe on the way home. No rushing. That's a direct order from your mother. Whatever happens with Esmae, I want you to know that me and your father are on your side, son. Looking after Trent and yourself should be your number one priority.
I'm so sorry, Kyle.
Why?
The migraines came back worse than ever, so I've been resting up on the sofa all day. I must have fallen asleep, and when I woke up, Trent was gone. Oh my god, Kyle, what do I do? What have I done? I'm so sorry. I think he went out while I was asleep. Oh, did I accidentally leave the front door unlocked? Oh my god.
Chill out.
How can I possibly chill out at a time like this? Trent's gone, Kyle. Our son is missing. I know it's all my fault, but he's not here, Kyle. What should I do? Should I call the cops?
Why so surprised? You're the one who left him on his own, right?
I might have left him unsupervised when I fell asleep, but I was right there on the sofa. We were in the same room. I didn't think this would happen. He was just playing quietly by himself before that.
What a big steaming pile of bull. You weren't even in the house.
What?
You came home and realized he was gone just now, didn't you? No matter where you looked, he was nowhere to be found. Now you're messaging me in a panic.
What are you talking about?
Trent showed up on his own at my mom's house last night. He told her I was away on business and you were in the hospital. You told our son he had to watch the house because you had to go to the hospital, didn't you?
Huh? What are you talking about? I didn't say that at all.
So why did he show up on my mom's doorstep on his own in the pouring rain last night?
I'm so sorry. Fine, I'll tell you. The truth is that my health took a turn for the worst yesterday, and I collapsed in the kitchen last night. I kept it quiet because I didn't want to worry you while you were busy with work. The only explanation I can think of is that Trent must have found me out cold and went to your mom's place when I wouldn't wake up.
That's pretty impressive for a barefaced lie you came up with completely on the fly.
I'm not lying. Why are you being like this?
Because I know for a fact that you weren't in the house. I rushed back home from my business trip in the middle of the night after Mom told me what had happened. You weren't there. Not on the sofa, and certainly not out cold on the kitchen floor. I knew you had to be lying about something, so I enlisted the help of my dad and brother, and we staked out our apartment complex in the middle of the night. We saw you getting dropped off in the car park by some dude in a Ferrari.
Okay, I admit it. That was me. I'm sorry. But it's not what it looks like. I'm not cheating on you, Kyle. I swear.
Fascinating. Do tell me more.
The guy in the car, he's nothing more than a friend, I promise. The truth is, one of our mutual friends was in a car accident yesterday. We were with her by the hospital bed until just now. She's in a bad way, and the doctors say she might not make it.
Which hospital?
A city hospital.
What's your friend's name?
Why do you want to know all that? She's still unconscious.
Because it's important. You left our son on his own. If you were telling the truth, surely you would have left him with my mom and dad, right? Surely that's what anyone in their right mind would do in that situation. You're lying.
I know that's what I should have done, but I was upset, Kyle. I wasn't thinking straight or acting rationally because one of my best friends was in a serious accident and might die. Don't you understand that? I saw Trent asleep on the sofa and thought he'd be fine. Calling your mom would have taken time, and all I wanted to do was be with my friend. I had to see how she was.
You might not know this, but Florida was hit by its worst storm in 10 years yesterday. It was raining buckets, windy enough to blow the stripes off a zebra, and thundering and lightning like it was no one's business. It came around noon, but you told me you were doing the laundry because it was so gorgeous out.
It was sunny in the morning.
You didn't really mention any rain, though. Not only that, but Trent hates storms. Thunder scares the pants off him, and he can't ever go to sleep when it's like that outside. Everything you say is a lie. Remember that new medicine you showed me recently that seemed to miraculously cure your migraines? Well, I looked it up online and apparently it's a famous diet aid. It didn't say anything about headaches. What the hell are you playing at?
I'm sorry.
Does that mean you admit it? That you're cheating on me with that guy in the Ferrari?
I got caught up in the moment. I drank more than I should have. We got talking and, well, I wasn't myself, Kyle. I should never have drunk that much.
You got caught up in the moment and came back at lunchtime the next day?
We got lost in conversation, and before I knew it...
Amazing. You still insist on lying, even when your lover boy admits it.
What?
After you got out of the car, me, my dad, and my brother followed him home, confronted him outside his house. He got real loose-lipped after the three of us surrounded him and pressed him for an explanation. You should have seen the look on his face. He was so terrified. I thought he might wet his pants. I almost felt bad for him. How about you stop lying? The cat's out of the bag.
I'm so sorry. I've made a huge mistake. I didn't mean to. It kind of just happened. I'm so sorry, honey. I don't feel anything for him. I swear.
I'm looking through your chat logs as we speak. You told him all about how you kept calling Trent in sick at kindergarten because dropping him off and picking him up was so much of a pain in the ass. Turns out you've been meeting up with Mr. Ferrari for seedy trips during the week while I was at work too. You've been a busy girl. Impressive for someone suffering with killer migraines, huh?
I'm so sorry. I promise I'll never see him again. Please forgive me.
Like hell will I forgive you? Lying about migraines all the time, making me worry something chronic, all the while you're getting piped by some dude in a Ferrari behind my back. Leaving our 5-year-old son all on his own during the worst storm in 10 years so you can get piped some more. He's not capable of looking after himself. You know full well something awful could have happened to him, but you went anyway. You even luckier nothing happened to him while he was out in the storm on his way to my mom's place. He could have been hit by a car, flying debris, been blown over and banged his head, struck by lightning. It's a miracle he's okay. You have no right to be a mother.
I'll never do it again. I swear. Please just calm down and let's talk this through. We can talk about this like adults, can't we, honey? Can't we?
I can assure you, I am calm. We're getting a divorce.
A divorce? No!
Yes, a divorce. Obviously. What other choice do I have?
No, please. There are plenty of other options. Just don't divorce me. I'm begging you. Anything but divorce. I was never serious about him. It was just a fling. Surely you know that if you can see our chat logs. It was purely physical.
That makes it even more disgusting. Because that means that you left your 5-year-old son all on his own due to no other reason than to satisfy your insatiable lust for the D.
No, well, I mean, Kyle, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I'll do anything. Anything but divorce. I am begging you.
You know, maybe if you were just doing this behind my back while I was at work and Trent was at kindergarten, maybe, just maybe, I would have considered talking things through before divorcing you. But after what you did, this was the easiest decision of my life. You're so despicable. I feel sick just from seeing your name on my phone screen.
Please, find it in your heart to forgive me. I'll dedicate my life to making you and Trent happy from now on, I promise. Please, please, please. Please believe in me. Just give me one more chance.
I'll never believe another word that comes out of your mouth. You had ample opportunity to tell the truth, and you did nothing but pile bullshit on top of more bullshit. I'm divorcing you to make sure that you can never do this to us again. Needless to say, I divorced my wife immediately. She threatened to take full custody of Trent if I went through with it, after the fact that she left him alone to go see her lover came out in court. Esmae's parents doted on Trent, and they were beyond livid when they found out what their daughter had done. They came down on her like a ton of bricks before cutting her out of their lives for good. Last I heard, she was sleeping on the sofa in a shared house while working ungodly hours to cover the monthly child support payment she's gonna owe me for the next 13 years. She totally lost it with Loverboy when she found out he told me everything. She was so incensed that she launched a vicious harassment campaign against him after we divorced, which got so out of hand that the police had to get involved. She seems to be under the impression that if she works hard, keeps up with the child support payments, and show me she's sorry, she'll have a shot at getting back with me. Unfortunately for her, I have no intention of having anything more to do with her as long as I live. I think she'll get the message eventually, but she's obviously mentally unstable, so I hope when she does, she doesn't pull any more crazy stunts that could end up hurting Trent. I hope she uses this as an opportunity to change her ways and becomes a better human being. I'm not holding my breath though. Me and Trent moved in with my mom and dad after the divorce. It can be a bit hectic at times with all four of us living together, but we're having a blast and I wouldn't change it for the world. There's always someone around the house for Trent to play with and he loves it. I was pretty mad at myself for not realizing he was missing out on important opportunities to learn and socialize with friends by being forced to stay off kindergarten by the actions of a selfish mom. What's worse is that he was really upset about it. It's my mission from here on out to ensure that he never has to miss out on things that he enjoys ever again. I'll do whatever it takes to make him happy. At the end of the day, I'm the only one he can truly rely on to protect him. Of course, he has my parents, but they're not as young as they used to be, and it's only natural as his dad. I should be the one ultimately responsible. I should be the one ultimately responsible for keeping him safe and watching over him. I'm gonna shower him with so much love and affection that he'll probably get bored of it and think I'm embarrassing. Let's face it, with Esmae no longer around, I have to love him for two. He doesn't need a mom, because mark my words, I'm gonna give him the best childhood a kid could ever have. Could ever have.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.